the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the final edition of Aaron's Hour, coming to you coast to coast for 2025. I can't believe I'm saying that already. We are at year end. Next Saturday, I'm going to tell you right now, folks, don't miss me too much, but I am taking next Saturday off to be with the long weekend with the family and friends as we get ready for New Year's. But tonight, I'm still celebrating Hanukkah, man. Day 7. And I got about 30 people coming to my house tonight, and we're going to have brisket, and we got latkes, and we got friends, and thank goodness I got young people coming because they're going to be the ones to clean my house up because I ain't going to do it. Anyway, thank you for joining me today on this Saturday. I appreciate you taking time with me. If you're watching me on Facebook, you know where to find me, WWDBTV, Virginia Beach, WWDBTV as well, Las Vegas. You can also find us on the websites. You can also find us on YouTube. And also, as another reminder, tomorrow, every Sunday, 1 p.m. on DBTV.TV, all my Aaron's Hour shows will appear on that network. David Bruner, he is a longtime entertainment agent. He's been in the industry, and he's got clients like me that do stuff like this, that in order to help promote us, he's running our stuff on his network. So again, that's 1 p.m. every Sunday at DBTV.TV. So, which is great news for my guest, because my guest in studio today, you see him under the byline with my name, Dr. Morris Elstein. He's the head guru at Coastal Gynecology here at 757 General Area. But more importantly, he's a sponsor of this show, which I'll thank all my sponsors here in a second. Coastal 757 Aesthetics is the part of his practice where he focuses on men's health. I'll just leave it at that for right now, because we'll get into all the good stuff later on after a break. Anyway, so yes, without businesses like Coastal 757 Aesthetics supporting the show, we also want to thank Miliari Group. Please give them a call. Their phone number, by the way, on my promo posts now on Facebook. If you follow those promo posts, you notice I put a lot of pictures and digital flyers and logos. Now what I'm starting to do to make it even more efficient, I'm putting links in the comments box for every one of my sponsors. So if you don't remember the website for Dr. E, that's okay. Just go to the promo post, pull up his logo, and right there in the comments section, you'll see the link to his website. Or you can go to aaronshour.vegas, click on the tab that says sponsors, and all of my sponsors and supporters are there with their logo. Click on the logo. We'll take you direct to their website. Tidewater Community College, from here, grow anywhere. We want to thank the folks over there at all the campuses across the 757. Comfort Care, Virginia Beach, Tiffany Wynn and Company over there, the best home health care support and companion care that you could ask for your family. And I know that from personal experience, having that they currently take care of my father-in-law, and they do yeoman work. Now, Different Strokes 757, Craig Wynn, yes, Tiffany's husband, they do everything together. But let me tell you something, folks, if you need your house painted or you want a fence put up, he does everything inside and out, floor to ceiling, anything you need. He's been around this area his entire life, so he knows the 757 like nobody's business. And last but not least, hey, some guy named The Voice. Did you know you can dress like a Hall of Famer? If you go to thevoice.qbstores.com, all the logos, every show, every support, everything that I do, like this beautiful shirt I'm wearing right now. By the way, congratulations to Old Dominion for winning their bowl game this year. 10 wins for them, the first time in like 15 years that they've gotten a 10 wins. So congratulations to the Monarchs. But if you go to my website, my swag shop, anything with my logo on it, if you want to quote unquote dress like a Hall of Famer, just check it out. Shirts, hats, bibs, water bottles, whatever you want. Check it out. We appreciate it. And again, thank you to all of my sponsors. We love you and thank you for your support. All right, with that, before we get started, it is time now for me to bring in my cohort in Las Vegas, Mr. John JPEG Styles, who pushes all the buttons and continues to try, and I emphasize the word try, to make me look and sound good. Mr. John, what's cooking in Vegas today?
Well, as time goes by, it gets harder and harder to make you look good, man.
I know, especially when I ding up my nose with a barbell during working out. That's kind of tough. What's cooking in Vegas?
I told you, man, that the barbells always win.
I know. Sometimes I have to learn the hard way.
This is very, very important, and I think that you should tell your guests this today.
All right.
In early January, the Eagles are going to be performing at the Sphere.
Really?
Yes.
Are they really?
They are really. And I'm telling you, if anybody knows anything about the Sphere, it is going to be a mind blower for you, Doctor. You're going to find this to be one of the best concert experiences you've ever had.
Do you go to a lot of concerts?
I'm trying to now. Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
So you're going to go out to Vegas to see by the way, Dr. Morris Elstein, he is my guest today. I wanted to bring him on camera early because I keep referring to him like an invisible friend. So I figured I would let everybody see that I do have someone in studio with me. So what kind of, the Eagles, listen, a classic music group for sure. Is that your genre of music that you generally like? All that kind of stuff? Or?
Yeah, I'm a product of the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Oh, God, you and John would have a show all into yourselves.
Well, I love that style of music.
Okay.
Yeah, but my genre of music is wide.
Absolutely,
I love jazz. I love, classical as well. So, the Eagles was a chance to see something from my past. They got to go and see them while they're there.
Well, this is like the past meeting the future, John, because he's coming out there to see the Eagles in what many call one of the best venues really in the world for concerts, and that's the Sphere in Vegas.
Yeah, it's Vegas has had some pretty good venues for concerts. I mean, and with the Smith Center opening up.
Oh yeah,
that is if you've never been there, go.
But the Smith Center, though, is more of your traditional venue.
Yeah, but like Myron's, is a smaller,
cabaret,
intimate cabaret style that's pretty sweet. But I saw a lot of the Motown groups here last year at the Smith Center, and it reminds me of the old days going to a concert.
Sure.
Where there weren't 738,350 people. You could hear the music and enjoy the music. They had the Moody Blues here just a couple of years back. They were doing their In Search of the Lost Chord tour, and where they had the orchestra and everything and played that. And every time a song began, at the minute the song first few notes, the crowd went wild for about 10 seconds, and then it was dead silence, because you wanted to hear the music, you wanted to experience that, and that was one of the things I loved about the old days going to the concert.
Sure,
you don't have that anymore. You get all this shit. People are
that's right,
phones up and all that crap.
Exactly.
So anyway,
hey, I just want to
never mind.
No, all right. Say goodbye, John. Thank you, John. I just want to remind everybody who noticed behind me, I said it before, tonight is candlelight number 7, right? 7. So happy Hanukkah to everybody celebrating Hanukkah. We have Kwanzaa coming up. Whatever celebration you are having, enjoy it with New Year's coming up soon and Christmas and everything else. This is the time of year. All right. What else do I have to talk about? Nothing really. So today's Vegas Wrap 2.0 is going to be a little different than normally. Yeah, I could do the articles and the news stories and all that, but I felt like doing something a little different since this is the last episode of 2025. We're going to just talk about some of the digital things going on around the area. So we're going to pop up some flyers. I'm going to provide some background information on that just to kind of make things a little different today. So with that, it is time for Vegas Wrap 2.0.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right, welcome back to 2.0. Here we go. All right, so John's going to flash up some. I have no idea what order they are, but I don't know if you guys saw this. John, put us off to the side if you don't mind. Like, there we go. Thank you, sir. So I saw this come up on Facebook. Now, it's so funny because you've obviously been to Vegas a few times, I'm sure. And there really aren't many things that Vegas would go, nah, I don't want to do that, right? Well, so I saw this come up on Facebook and I was rolling on the floor because you can't have anything more perfect. So newsflash, folks, coming to a casino near you, probably in Vegas, maybe in Israel, who knows? That's right, folks. The World Series of Dreidel will be now coming to a channel near you. I thought this was absolutely funny. I loved it. You can see them spinning the dreidels. If you want to know how to play dreidel, just look it up online. It's really a very simple game of chance. Usually no real money is played for, maybe pennies, but chocolate geld, the Hanukkah geld is usually, I just thought this was hysterical. So, and this on the heels last week, I announced that, you ready for this? A tournament of Mahjong. Hong Kong version of Mahjong is also, that is true, is going to be starting out in Vegas. But I saw this. I thought for sure Vegas would be all over that. All right, here we go. Let's bring it a little closer to home. January 10th Temple Emmanuel here in Virginia Beach, which both Dr. E and I are associated with. This is a Western-themed casino night. Special guest host, the voice, Aaron Phillips. That's me. I'm going to be the special casino slot host that night. But folks, come on down. There's a QR code there. Tickets, I believe, are $50 a person, but we're going to have drinks. We're going to have food. We're going to have all the gaming tables. By the way, some of the drinks, I'm going to give a shout out to Will Bose at Seven Skies. My good friends over there are donating, what's the word I want to use? Some alcoholic beverages in the can. Cocktails, that's the word I want to use. Will's stuff is terrific, and he's a local distributor. His company is here in Virginia Beach, even though he distributes all over the country, well, at least all over the East Coast. As a matter of fact, last night I was at a function for the Moon Group Foundation. They had gotten 75 bikes donated that they were distributing, so we were at the distribution party. And it was at a restaurant here in town, poolside cafe, cooking cafe. And I look in the refrigerator, and who do I see? Seven Skies. Will, you are all over the 757. So, folks, go to that QR code. Tickets are available right up until the event. I believe we have a cutoff of like the 5th-ish, I believe. But it is a Western theme. So if you do come dressed in your best Western attire, which is sort of ironic that when I was in Vegas, we did very little Western themed stuff, which you think would be more appropriate. But no, we're here in Virginia Beach on the waterfront, and we're going to get dressed as cowboys and cowgirls. Go figure. All right, next slide. There we go. By the way, go to tevb.org for information. All right, the previously mentioned the Moon Group Foundation. They are currently running a special that if you go to their website, the Moon Group Foundation, click on donate. If you make a donation now of $100, courtesy of Celebrity Grudge Match, that's a company that I work for that does all the golf tournaments for nonprofits. For a $100 donation right now, you get a 5-day, 4-night complimentary stay in Cancun. No questions asked. By the way, no timeshares, no marketing meetings, none of that stuff whatsoever. If you go to their website, make a $150 donation, you'll get that same 5-day, 4-night comp stay plus a second week of vacation, what they call a Dream Week vacation that you'll be able to get in your hand when you check in down at the hotel. Oh, and by the way, you'll have a choice of 2 resorts down there in Cancun to pick from. Now, last but not least, if you make a $200 donation, hold on, go back. If you make a $200 donation, you will get an opportunity of a 5-day, 4-night all-inclusive discounted stay at the Riviera Maya in Cancun, plus the bonus week. So go right now to the moongroupfoundation.org, and I do have another organization that's doing the same type of program, which we'll get to that in a second. Okay, next one, John. All right, January 18th here in Virginia Beach, I am putting together a program called Champions for Champions. If you are a boxing fan at all, Bone Crusher Smith, does that name ring a bell? James Bone Crusher Smith, heavyweight champ from the early 80s, defeated Mike Tyson, and he's boxed against Buster Douglas and Michael Spinks, and you see Buster Douglas in that picture as well. January 18th, that's a Sunday, we're bringing Bone Crusher Smith in to do a special streaming interview show with not only with myself, the voice of 757, which I'll get to that in a second, but Coach Chuck Hatcher from Sports Inside Now, Legends of Sports. We're going to be doing this in person. And thank you to FFX Family Fun Theater, Tim Ritter and company down by the waterfront on 16th Street between Atlantic and Pacific. That is going to be the venue. Now, I do have sponsor opportunities as well. We do need some advertisers and sponsors. If you are interested, please email me at aronshour2021@gmail.com, and I will let you know all those opportunities. I assure you, it's commercial time here on my show, commercial time on a new show that you see there on the flyer, The Voice of 757, debuting Saturday, January 17th on Sky 4. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. Somebody thinks I'm going to look good in front of the camera. I used to be able to say I have a face for radio, but not really much anymore. So that's going to start January 17th, and you'll get commercial time on there. You'll get live announcements during the streaming service, everything that you need to participate in that function. Woo, there's a lot going on. Next, John, please. Oh, the Kiwanis Rose Float Club First Annual Golf Classic, March 6th, out in Pasadena. The Brookside at the Rose Bowl is the golf course. I'll tell you what, John, if you can scroll the website there. No, go back one. If you can bring up the website for that one on the crawl, if you can. Kiwanis Rose Float Golf Classic, thank you, sir, .com has all the sponsorship information, golfing opportunities. Now, if you want to help support the Rose Float Club, yes, the same Rose Float Club that puts well, not many, there's a lot of floats, but somewhere between 8 and 10 rose floats together. They're actually out there right now in Pasadena in the big hangar putting the floats together. The same floats you see on the New Year's Day Rose Float Parade on NBC and all their other outlets. So these folks, they bring in 4,000 to 6,000 volunteers a year to help do this, and they need the financial support, hence the first annual golf classic. Now, we bring in a bunch of celebrity athletes, so if you want to know who you can play golf with, like Willie Galt, to name one, Kellen Winslow, Charlie Joyner from the NFL. We have other celebrity athletes. Just go to that website that you see scrolling on the bottom. I will be out there emceeing it. I am the celebrity host for this. Now, after this event, the following Friday, March 13th, we're going to just drive up the coast. Change the crawl if you don't mind, sir. We're going to drive up the coast to Monterey Bay for the first annual Kiwanis Club of Marina golf outing. That's going to be up at Bayonet Black Horse, one of the most beautiful golf courses up there. Thank you, John. www.KiwanisClubandMarinaGolfClassic.com. And I can tell you right now, one of the celebrities, if you are a 49ers fan, Jeff Garcia has confirmed will be in attendance to play here as well. Now, if you want to sponsor both events or play in both events, email me, KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. May be able to swing something for you. If you want to just take the 4-hour drive up the coast from Pasadena and go on up to Monterey, I'll get you in there for both. So I believe that does it for all of the news and notes and activities. And as I mentioned, if you missed any of it, you got a couple options. Go back here on YouTube, go back onto Facebook, or just go to the promo post that I've put out, and you can go onto the logo of choice, and you can see all the links that there is to be linked to. With that, it is time for me to catch my breath here. We're going to step aside for our first break. When we come back, we're going to start talking with Dr. E here about what he's got going on in his practice to help men get their sex lives back with a very happy spouse of some way or another. Whoever your spouse is, just get happy in the bedroom. That's all we care about. You're watching Aaron's Hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Men, are you disappointing your partner in the bedroom? Let's cut to the chase. Are you suffering from erectile dysfunction? 50% of men between the ages of 40 to 70 experience some form of ED. If you are experiencing ED, there is help without pills or needles to even worry about. Coastal 757 Aesthetics has new technology for men called Apex RF. Apex RF is a modern, non-invasive treatment that uses radio frequency to strengthen tissue from the inside out, resulting in better blood flow to the penis and a happier life partner. Call Coastal 757 Aesthetics at 757-481-4036 for a free consultation. That's 757-481-4036. Coastal 757 Aesthetics. Care for all phases of life.
It's not just you're here for 2 years and you're gone. It's you have a community, you have a network.
It doesn't matter where you came from or what you've done in the past. Everybody has the same opportunity here.
The financial resources, the community aspect of it, really important for your first 2 years of college. And you get that at TCC.
You know, we take family real serious here at TCC. We're a community, hence Topwater Community College.
Is your credit card debt getting you down? When that student loan payment is due, does your cable bill go unpaid? Are you ready to throw in the towel because you do not know how to financially survive? The Miliari Group is ready to educate you on how to get out from under the pile of debt and retire as a tax-free millionaire. They eliminate student and credit card debt and help families set their kids up for success. For more information, call 956-532-2349 or email williamsastria961@gmail.com or scan the QR code to meet with us. The first 100 calls will receive a free will. So, call 956-532-2349 or scan the QR code now and learn how to become the millionaire you always dreamed to be. All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, Coast to Coast. Thank you for tuning in and making me part of your Saturday. Now, officially joining me after watching that crazy first segment, sitting to my right, Dr. Morris Elstein joins us here. He is. What is your title when you own a medical practice? Like the head doctor, like the head cheese? Like
Yeah.
Okay. So he's the head honcho over at Coastal Gynecology, where recently you started focusing on, as you saw in the commercial, focusing on men's healthcare, which we'll get to in a little bit. But there's always usually one question I always like to start off with my guests when they represent a particular niche and their industry and what they do. And it's very simple. How and why did you decide that you wanted to get into medical practice?
Yes, well, that's a great question. And, my practice has evolved over time from being purely women's healthcare. And how it's evolved is because part of the aging process is changes in sexual function.
Right.
And so as we tuned up women,
right,
then their husbands were left behind.
I like the way you said tuned up.
Yeah. So then we had a lot of requests from women as to what can I do for my husband?
Okay.
What should my husband do to now be better in bed?
Okay.
And so that led us to explore a lot of different modalities that would be helpful for men.
Okay.
And so we've now combined the two. We both do a lot of work with both women and their sexual function, and now we're also involved with men and their sexual function.
Okay. Now, you've been in practice for 45 years as a women's healthcare physician, right? Has that all been here in Virginia Beach?
All in Virginia Beach.
Are you originally from Virginia Beach?
I'm originally from Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, that's near Virginia Beach.
500 miles.
So when did you come up here from Georgia?
I came up here in 1977.
So why Virginia Beach when you moved here?
Actually, I was in Virginia Beach, but I did my residency at EVMS.
Oh, okay.
In obstetrics gynecology.
Okay.
And I loved the area so much, I stayed in Virginia Beach.
EVMS, for those who don't know, is down in Norfolk. We're in Virginia Beach right now, literally right by the waterfront, waterside dock area down there. I want to say nautical. It's the Nauticus and the USS Wisconsin, which, by the way, congratulations to them. They won on ABC. They had the Festival of Lights competition. They won. The boat won, #1 in the country. So congratulations. I told you I take exit ramps every once in a while. All right. So your practice has been in Virginia Beach now for 45 years. So how long have you now been focusing on men's health?
So men's health has been a gradual process over the last probably 5 to 10 years.
Okay. So I think in the course of history, we know that for men in particular, there are certain things that will always affect sexual desire, libido, things like that. Weight, diabetes, all the common things.
Medications.
But in today's day and age, I mean, there's one in particular that comes to mind, but I'm not going to say it right away. What are some other factors that men face in their daily lives that can affect sexual function?
Well, probably the other biggest issue is stress.
There you go. That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah,
Stress.
And in fact, it affects both men and women.
Sure.
And it's the one thing that is most difficult to overcome because that means a major lifestyle change to be able to change your stress level.
So give a couple of examples of how one would have to change their lifestyle to reduce stress for it to benefit their sex life.
So in the whole scheme of things, stress is the overall killer of sexual function.
Okay.
Because if you are completely distracted because of other external forces, then you're not going to be focusing on sex or focusing on your partner.
Right.
And so if that's an important issue, you've got to be able to change those outside forces that are interfering with your desire for sex.
Like if work is becoming overwhelming,
right?
Which is probably one of the #1 stresses, probably followed by family.
Correct.
Right. Like how to, and I say family, like, you have the kids, you have bills to pay, you got to put food on the table and all of that, right?
And now with a lot of younger children moving back into the household, there's a privacy issue.
Right. Okay.
And so that's also an interference in the ability to be spontaneous.
Okay. I think people in general have been battling stress forever, almost from the beginning of time. I mean, with unless certain things outside of your family, outside of your work stress, things like that change, how does one manage stress and block out, oh my God, I got a report to do in the morning, but yet my wife wants to get intimate? How do I change that mental capacity?
Well, #1 is good communication with your spouse or partner.
Okay.
That's got to be the most important thing out there, because if you are distracted and you're not communicating, then people are going off in different directions.
Okay.
And then you've got to sit down and figure out a plan to help you reduce that stress. And whether or not you have to see a counselor or someone else to help you compartmentalize what you need to compartmentalize and get away from things that are causing your stress. Hire someone else to do the parts that are driving you crazy. And
I'd be paying more staff than I know what to do.
Yeah, well, it does come to sometimes an expensive operation to be able to do that. But yeah, it's a whole lifestyle change if you're going to reduce stress and improve your intimacy from the effect of stress.
Okay. Now you mentioned a few minutes ago that there are different modalities that one can look into to enhance their relationship status with their significant other.
Right.
I remember back in the day, we're talking generally now, I know with the Apex RF system that you have, and we'll get to this in a second, we're talking about focusing on blood flow and things like that. But in the past, you're talking about medications like Cialis and that sort of thing. And I mean, I had a dear friend of the family that had to do injections, that alone scares the daylights out of me. But I remember back in the day, testosterone levels are also thought about in the circles as well. And back in the day, I used to get pellet injections with the testosterone pellets. Why are there so many different modalities? And again, we're going to save Apex RF as the best, of course, with the purpose of our conversation. But if you rank some of the other ones, which are somewhat good, let's bust some myths. Let's because some people only want to enlist in certain styles of medicinal support. Let's talk about the different aspects that are
so hormones are probably the biggest issue out there.
Okay.
Because as we age, we're all losing our hormones. I happen to have been the first person in Tidewater to use hormone pellets. And that came about because at the Medical College of Georgia, where I trained, the father of modern hormone therapy was the professor there. So that was Dr. Robert Greenblatt. He was one of the inventors of the birth control pill.
Wow.
And he was our professor. And people at the time in the 60s and 70s, there were not a lot of availability of hormones. People came from all over the world for him to manage their hormones. Consequently, if you were a student there on his rotation, you got to see him in action. And learn about.
And why would he not want to promote his own stuff? I mean, it would be silly not to.
So fast forward, you come here and no one's doing hormone pellets, and very few people are doing hormones at all. And so I have had hormone therapy as part of my practice from almost the very beginning. So fast forward, there are a lot of issues that have come up with hormones over the years. And fortunately, within the last month, the FDA has removed a black box warning from the estrogen hormone. And as a menopause practitioner and use of hormones for years, we never believed that black box warning should have ever been there. But because of all political and being politically correct and all this other stuff, that black box warning got put on hormones. And now it's gone. And so back in 2002, when the big scare came about from what's called the WHI or Women's Health Initiative study, women threw away their hormones. It scared them to death. And that was really the beginning of global warming because everybody got hot.
I'm sorry, that's a great line. Sorry.
So,
hi, Kathy Zemansky up in Erie, Pennsylvania.
So, in our practice, we never stopped doing hormones. And
now, for women, like my wife, after she had a full hysterectomy, was on hormone therapy. She used the patches. That's what you're talking about?
Patches, anyway, pellets, patches.
Women
gels.
have pellets also?
Oh, absolutely.
She went on the She went on the patches.
So I've been doing pellets for women for years. And again, as part of this transition into men for the last 5 to 10 years, we started doing pellets for men. And injections for men. Of testosterone, because you're hearing all the stuff about ED and low T and everything out there in the world, and it is absolutely true. It does occur, and it's not in the 60 age group. We're seeing it in 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds.
Now, is that because maybe the higher stress levels, testosterone's affected?
It may, but it may be just your hereditary, your general physical being. That you're running out of gas.
God,
literally.
What a terrible thought that is. Sorry, got to pull in for some eye tests. So I have to go to break in about 2 minutes. So I want to transition a little bit then. Let's introduce what you have now, this new piece of equipment, the Apex RF radio frequency. And by the way, when I ran the commercial, when I sent you the preview of it, the comment that you said that your staff thought I did well in explaining it, well, that's because I did some good research on getting how it worked. Talk about how that approach is now something you're offering for men. What is it, and why you're integrating it into the options for men?
So there haven't been many good options for men to physically address what's going on with blood flow in the penis.
Okay.
And the prevailing technology has been called shockwave.
Okay.
And it does help open up blood vessels, if you would, but there's more to erectile dysfunction than just blood flow.
Okay.
So there's the tissue changes that go on, the connective tissue that diminishes. And so you lose girth, you lose length, and you lose blood flow.
Okay.
And shockwave did not address all those other issues. Now, Apex RF does.
Okay.
And it's a simple technology that is painless, non-invasive, and the results have been so far in our practice pretty amazing.
Okay. We're going to leave it right there, so get ready to go to our first break. When we come back, I'm going to start peppering Dr. E with my famous fun questions, and then we'll get back into more specifically the functionality of the Apex RF and where he ranks and what he chooses, which modality to use for his patients. You're watching Aaron Zauer, Coast to Coast. Be right back. Take it away, John.
Hey, honey, what you doing?
Getting ready to watch the game.
What about fixing up the house like you promised?
What you talking about?
Just the new light in the den, the new shower in our bathroom, the new fence around the yard, the front steps.
Stop! You know, I have a better idea. You know Craig down the street? He owns a company that specializes in handyman services, but he is more than just any old handyman.
Really? Would you say different strokes for different folks?
You know I will. You know why? Because he does home repairs and he does painting and kitchen remodels and bathrooms and everything else in between.
How are his prices?
Great value for great quality. You know, I think I'll invite him over and get a free estimate for all the things that I know will make you the happiest here.
Call Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service for a free estimate by calling 757-395-9999 today.
That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous. I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster, but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, Coast to Coast. Good thing my name's Aaron Phillips, because otherwise the title of the show would really make no sense. Okay, anyway, thank you for joining us today. Today in studio with me is Dr. Morris Elstein, who we're just going to simply call Dr. E, because it's just cooler that way. He has a gynecology practice here, Coastal Gynecology, but more for over 45 years here in town. But now over the last 5 years, as we learned, he's now starting to focus a little bit as well on the men's side of the bed sheet, if you will, and helping men with erectile dysfunction and all the causes. We'll get back to that in a second. But first, I got my slew of questions that I want to ask him that have really nothing to do with anything important other than why not. So the question I'm about to ask you, rapid fire. First thing that comes to mind, no, there's no phoning a friend. There's no thinking about it. I want the first thing that comes to mind. So for you, Dr. E, the first question I have, who is your favorite actress of all time?
Angelina Jolie.
Oh, Angelina Jolie. Who's your favorite actor of all time?
Robert Redford.
Oh, man, he just passed away this year.
Yes.
What a loss.
What a loss.
Your favorite all-time movie, so that when it comes on your screen, you turn off your phone, which I don't know as a doctor if you really can do, but let's presume you can for the sake of this question. Grab your favorite popcorn, your favorite adult beverage, your significant other, you sit down in front of the TV to watch what movie?
Contact.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one with, what's her name? Jodie Foster, right? Oh,
right.
Yes. Okay,
Matthew
so I did watch
McConaughey.
it. All right. Okay, we talked about music before, so I don't really have to go back into that, but you're at a red light right now, driving around town. Your favorite all-time song comes on the radio so that you start karaokeing to it. Some of us are good karaokeers, some of us are not. So when people are karaokeing, people in other cars are walking by, always looking in there, and you don't really care what they're singing. What song are you karaokeing to in your car at a red light? I purposely extend asking that so people can think of their song.
Yeah, absolutely. God, there's so many from the 60s and 70s that I karaoke
Well, you as an
to.
Eagles fan, let's help you out. What's your favorite Eagles song that you would karaoke to?
Gosh, that's a challenge.
Okay. All right, so give me one. Give me one. The first thing that comes to mind that you would
Can't
sing.
think of one.
Any song.
Really? Can't
Nothing.
think. Nah.
Could be a Hebrew song too.
Oh, yeah, it could be, but probably I'll heard it through the grapevine.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a Motown classic.
Yeah.
Heard it through the grapevine. You know, remember back in the day they did a commercial for sun-dried raisins. Was using that song, right? The
absolutely.
dancing raisins.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. See, when I do stuff like that, I date myself too. Okay, let's get back to business at hand. All right. So we talked about the Apex RF as now. How do you decide? Because I'm sure you're not exclusively offering Apex, are you? Or
No.
are you just now exclusively offering?
No.
So how do you decide which modality to offer your patients?
Yeah,
Because
so-
you do have a slew of options.
So let me just digress a little bit
Yeah.
to say there are a lot of places out here in the world doing hormones, both for men and women, and there are a lot of hormone clinics. The difference between how we practice medicine, both in my gynecologic practice and through the aesthetics practice, is that we take a holistic view of the entire person.
Okay.
I don't want to just give you hormones.
Right.
I want to know all the other factors that are going into why you need help.
Why you're there.
Why I'm there.
Okay.
And so we take a bigger holistic approach. So we want to know your health history. We want to know your hormone levels. We want to correct everything we can correct before we say, oh, we're going to give you this treatment.
Okay.
Because the last thing I want is an unhappy customer.
Right.
And
because then that adds stress and totally counteracts the
Right.
reason they're there.
Because for us, besides from your show and advertising, we don't do a lot of advertising. Word of mouth has worked wonderfully for us. So once you have a couple of men who are happy, well, they're going to tell all their friends.
Absolutely.
And so then the flow of people keeps elevating. But, when it comes down to, after taking your history, looking at everything, it looks like you're a candidate for Apex RF.
Okay.
Then we'll give you the story on Apex RF and set you up.
All right.
There are two of us in the office that do the procedure.
Okay.
I have an associate named Serena.
Okay.
And interestingly, most of the men want her to do it and not me. But
fill in the blanks anywhere you want to, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, she is the consummate professional.
Sure, you have to.
And
well, listen, let me put that little thing in perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had kidney stones?
No.
Okay, I have.
But it's the worst thing out there.
Oh, I've had. And so after the stones come out, they put what I like to call the garden hose inside of you to help. So when I've had to go to the doctor to get it removed, the associate that's in there is always a female.
Right.
So it's kind of like the same thing where the female is there and they're gelling you up and getting ready to. It's like, it's like working at an ice cream shop. It's like ice cream is ice cream.
We're professional.
Right, exactly.
That's the whole name.
You have to be, absolutely. By the way, before I forget, if you are watching right now across at the bottom of the screen, the call right now has Dr. E's phone number. If you are listening to us, give him a call at 757-481-4036. Again, that's 757-481-4036, or you can jump onto the website, coastalgynecology.com, to learn more. I recommend using that phone number because we were talking before I went on the air that right now his phone system in the office is driving him batty. So that phone number is a direct line to Dr. E, and we'll get you set up to his staff and get your appointment set up. All right, so let's talk about the Apex RF system since that's what we want to really focus on today. Walk me through the procedure. You know, you use me as a test dummy for the case that we've gone through our testing, which I assume is obviously Q&A, but maybe a blood test here and there to see what's going on as well. And you say, all right, Aaron, you're an Apex RF guy. Let's go to it.
Yep.
Talk about the appointment, you know, what the process is.
Right. So there's very little prep that is needed.
Okay.
If you've got a good crop of pubic hair, it's good to shave it because we're going to put gel all over.
Okay.
Because the coupling device is ultrasound gel.
Just like when you have the pads put on your chest during EKGs and stuff.
So it's best to trim a little bit.
Okay.
And then other than that, bottoms off.
Okay.
And if you feel like you want to be draped, you can be draped. Otherwise, most people really don't care. And then the technique is to use the head of the RF device.
John, can you pop up the picture of the commercial if you have it handy, where we use it as the logo page with the handle? This way we can use that as a descriptive if need be, if you can. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then we divide the penis up essentially in 4 quadrants.
Okay.
And we will move the device back and forth across the skin.
Okay.
And what we're trying to do is to heat to a certain temperature.
Okay.
That temperature will induce 2 things in the penis. One, it causes new blood vessels to form, which improves the blood flow.
Right.
And it starts to improve the connective tissue within the penis. So you get more collagen formation, and that increases the girth and length.
Okay.
So those are 2 things that are lost over time.
And how long is this? How long is each session?
Takes about 20 minutes.
Okay. And how many sessions do you normally recommend for a client?
6 sessions at a minimum.
Okay, gotcha. And is this covered by insurance? Is this so this is an out-of-pocket expense?
Right.
Okay. Roughly the cost out of pocket for a session?
About $2,500 for all 6 sessions.
For all 6 sessions.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Well, listen, you know what? Everybody will decide what is value for them worth paying. So
absolutely.
Now, is there? Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be off on this. I recall that the pellet procedure was covered as a testosterone replacement or not?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
So it depends on where you go and who's doing your pellets as to whether or not it's covered.
Is there a move to have this type of modality to be able to be covered by insurance at some point?
They don't want to cover it.
Because it's by choice.
By choice.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like after the sleeve surgery, when you want to have skin removal surgery, they generally won't cover it. Because
Correct.
it's cosmetic.
Correct.
Damn that word, cosmetic.
Yeah. So there's a significant issue. And at one point, actually early in my practice, pellets were covered for women.
Right.
But as all these different pellet individuals started coming into the market and charging lots of money, the insurance companies decided this was, quote, experimental.
But couldn't a case be made that procedures like the Apex RF, the hormones, the gels, and all that, couldn't a case be made medicinally that it does help reduce stress, that it does change some medical issues that
improves lifestyle?
Okay, so couldn't that be used against an insurance company to say, you're saying cosmetic, but we're saying it's needed for health reasons?
Well, I'd love to be able to tell you that I could have that much power in the world to change insurance minds.
Right.
But, right now it seems like in the world, whenever insurance companies can either deny a procedure or medication, they're willing to do that without any
without thinking twice about it.
Right. Any choice. And so I have a box in my EMR of patients that have had medication denied that I have to go in and request prior authorizations, and it goes on and on.
And I've been a victim of that stuff, where I've gone to doctors where I've used medicines in Vegas for nearly 30 years, and I come out here to get the same script, nothing's been changed or anything, and then all of a sudden the new insurance company says,
Yep.
But I mean, I guess there is a way that a case could be made if a AMA lobbyist group were to do their thing, perhaps, and go up against the big insurance companies. But I digress. You're right. We're just 2 people chatting about this. We don't have that kind of stroke anywhere.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now somebody goes through their first session. 6 sessions. How soon before a patient sees any? What would be some of the results that they can initially see from the procedure?
So you might see a little effect after the first one.
With what effect would that be?
Might see better erection.
Okay.
But you'll definitely see a little girth change.
Okay.
And as you go along, you will definitely see girth change.
Okay.
And a lot of men actually during the procedure will start to have some engorgement just due to the heat and the whole process is going
More blood
on.
flowing.
Right.
And
And so you'll see changes, and most people by the end are reporting significant changes.
what are now? Everything has potentially side effects. Are there side effects to this
Well,
that people should be
fortunately,
aware of?
fortunately, there are no side effects from this
Really?
that we've identified.
Okay.
Now, there's a similar technology using the same radio frequency energy that we use in different parts of the body that can cause an arcing effect, which gives you a little shock.
Okay.
But this device is designed not to do that.
Sure, because that would be pretty painful. That's not a place you want to feel shocked.
Right.
Although if you look at most mobster movies, you'll see that people are tortured by having the card battery things
connected.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So the side effects as of right now are nil.
Right.
Okay. With all the upside, so to speak. Okay. So I guess my next question is, why wouldn't men who suffer from any type of ED from any reason not want to do this?
So there's really no reason not to, per se. And again, you have to see how sexual function for you fits in the whole scheme of your life. And I mean, if you have a partner who's not interested in sex and you're not interested in sex, well, okay, say why. But
I got to imagine though the positive side effects, not necessarily just sexually related.
Right.
You know, if you've got more blood flowing anywhere in your body, it's got to make you feel better just overall. And in a way, reduce stress and things like that. There's got to be side effects, positive side effects.
As man to man, when you see your member get smaller and less active, you're
depressed.
You're depressed about it. It's like, my gosh, I used to be at 20.
Right.
It's not the same anymore.
No, absolutely.
And so, I mean, it's a positive thing.
Sure.
It's just
Self-esteem.
like self-esteem, body image, the whole 9 yards.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to step aside for our last break because I need to recover from this stuff. But we're going to wrap things up with Dr. E when we come back because we're down to one more segment. I can't believe how quickly time flies. And then I've got a few more of those bizarro questions to throw at him as we wrap up. You're watching Aaron's Hour. More to come right after this.
Hey, honey, what you doing?
Getting ready to watch a game.
What about fixing up the house like you promised?
What you talking about?
Just the new light in the den, the new shower in our bathroom, the new fence around the yard, the front steps.
Stop! You know, I have a better idea. You know Craig down the street? He owns a company that specializes in handyman services, but he is more than just any old handyman.
Really? Would you say different strokes for different folks?
You know I will. You know why? Because he does home repairs and he does painting and kitchen remodels and bathrooms and everything else in between.
How are his prices?
Great value for great quality. You know, I think I'll invite him over and get a free estimate for all the things that I know will make you the happiest here.
Call Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service for a free estimate by calling 757-395-9999 today.
That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life.
Lobby in a
Hi,
we're back. We're talking about Pernell Sweepy Whitaker about boxing as we're here. Okay, so before we get back, there are a couple more things I want to make sure we cover with Dr. E. But first, a few more things to ask him regarding my bizarro questions out there. So here you go. What is your favorite bucket list vacation that you haven't taken yet that you'd like to someday?
Well, actually, it's to a place I've already been.
Okay.
But I'd love to go back.
Where's that?
It's at St. Lucia.
That's where I had my honeymoon. St. Lucia, loved it.
Loved it. There's a place there called Jade Mountain.
Okay.
And it is the most incredible. When you think of 5-star hotels, this is 7.
Okay. Okay.
And it's a hotel built into the side of a mountain.
Okay.
There's no outer walls.
So you're just looking
open.
right out.
You're looking out into the ocean, to the pitons, and it is spectacular.
Nice.
They grow their own food,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Well, if you're in the middle of the mountain, you better be growing your own food.
and they produce their own chocolate.
Okay.
This place, it is an incredible resort.
Nice. All right, couple of more. So I want to make sure we leave time to get through a couple other topics. Okay, so favorite meal, top to bottom, starting with an appetizer.
Yeah. So appetizer.
If you do appetizer, maybe you don't do appetizer.
I don't do a lot of appetizer in life, but
Okay.
my favorite meal would probably be a wonderful Mediterranean meal.
Okay.
With couscous and falafel, and the whole string of various things from the Middle East.
Perfect. Dessert?
Oh, there's really one major one for me, and that's lemon meringue pie.
Lemon meringue. Any adult beverages with your meals?
No.
No red wine, white wine.
I don't do alcohol, but
All
I found that water does great for me.
There you go. Water
with a little lemon.
There you go. Right there. Water right there. Okay. Favorite superhero, and don't be influenced by what's hanging in my studio. Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Why?
Because I like to feel like I can leap buildings in a single bound. I'm more powerful than.
And he probably doesn't need Apex RF. So that's a whole nother story.
And I move faster than the speeding bullet.
Gotcha. All right. Last question before we get back to our time. It's the only real serious one that I ask in this series. So when the day comes, 120 years from now, that you're standing at the pearly gates and the Mater D is there to welcome you into heaven, which I know you'll be at, what is it you'd want to hear the Mater D say to you upon entering?
I appreciate your compassion and care that you've given to the people around you and to your patients.
Perfect. Love it. All right. You're off the hook for the crazy, silly ones. All right. Let's get to it. There's a couple more things on the to-do list I want to cover. Are there special situations about sex that are rarely discussed by other specialists? For instance, you have your oncologist, you have your endocrinologist. Talk about those scenarios.
Yeah. So we see both women and men who have been affected by cancers.
Okay.
And there are very few practitioners out here who address the sexual function issues with their patients before they undergo whatever therapy they're going to go, either for breast cancer or for prostate cancer.
Okay.
And so people undergo these treatments and then they're left with problems afterwards that affect their sexual function.
Gotcha.
For men in particular, when you've had your prostate removed, there's a significant number of men who have urinary incontinence.
Wow. Okay.
And sometimes there's nerve damage, and so it affects sexual function.
Okay.
And so we have combined both Apex RF with another modality called Emcella, which we've used for for urge incontinence in women, but it has a fascinating effect in helping men as well.
Okay.
So we have a lot of men who come in with leakage from previous prostate cancer surgery, and they get significant improvement in their bladder control.
Okay.
Now, the wonderful thing about Emcella is that it has two modalities, and one of them also increases blood flow in the pelvis. So we combine Emcella with Apex RF.
Nice.
And so you get multiple modalities treating blood flow.
Gotcha.
And that has been also a positive effect in improving and enhancing the effect of the Apex RF.
So obviously Apex RF in conjunction with other modalities is a win-win.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we've got all the bases covered right now for what we can do to help you achieve your goals.
So you have a menu of options that, as you succinctly talked about earlier, that when you sit down with your client, I don't want to call them a patient, your client, and you discuss their situations, you really have the best of all tools. I think of it like a tool belt. You know, you got the hammer, you got the plier, you got this, you got the right tool for the right job. You really do figure out what's the best modality that is on the menu at your practice that you can offer a patient, both men and women.
Right.
And that's got to give your patients a breath of fresh air, knowing that you're going to do what's best for them and what their need is, not what's best for you based on who you're repping and saying, you're a round peg, but I'm going to put you in this square hole.
Right.
Right.
Now, we try to individualize the therapy.
Sure.
And that's what makes us a little bit more unique than a lot of the places out there, because I want to know you personally. I want to know what you need and the best way to try to approach your issue.
Sure. Okay. Well, there you have it. I mean, there's a lot to go on here. I'm going to ask John to put up the contact info again so that we have that up there. So I'm going to share Dr. E's. What's your phone number so people have it as we're waiting for it to go up?
Yeah, it's 757-481-4036.
There you go. It's on the screen right now. That's 757-481-4036. Of course, you can go to the website, coastalgynecology.com. And listen, fellas, don't be thrown off by the gynecology word in the URL. He's done that for 40 plus years. He's really started delving into the men's side of things, specifically the last, 5 years you said earlier with the Apex stuff and the modalities.
With Apex.
With
Yeah,
Apex.
right.
So guys, don't let the URL be of concern because he knows how to handle men and women and the concerns that are most important. So it's coastalgynecology.com.
And if you go to the website, you'll see it's split into Coastal 757 Aesthetics. So
Perfect.
you can see both of them out there.
Generally speaking, so folks who are familiar in the 757 area, whereabouts is the office?
The office is off First Colonial Road, just across the street from the hospital.
There you go. Actually, I was just down there. My father-in-law, not just down, about a month ago, his last day in the hospital was that hospital down there. So familiar with that area. So it's real easy off the 264, off the highways. If you want to stay on the roads, on the side roads, it's real easy to get to. All right, with that, I think we're just about done. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, I just want to say that in addition to the modalities we've talked about, that we are now using PRP, platelet-rich plasma, to also inject into the penis, which also stimulates new growth of vessels and tissue.
So that is
we draw your blood.
What's the word I'm looking for? Pre-action blood draw that you're doing. In
Right.
other words, like I said earlier, I had a friend that had to inject at the
Right.
moment of usage.
Right.
But that's not
different.
this.
That's
That's
not
what I want to
this.
clarify.
Right. Yeah, that's not that.
Okay.
So this also is an enhancement technique.
Okay.
And so for women, it's been around for a while called the O shot.
Okay.
And now for men, it's called the P shot.
Okay.
But that's out there.
Whatever works, folks.
Yeah. And there are a lot of other modalities that are out there and coming into view for a lot of people. If you search the internet, you can find a lot of things that enhance.
But don't make your decisions based on what you read on the internet. Go see a professional.
Absolutely.
Sit down with a professional. Let them assess where you're at and provide the best modality for you. So good stuff. Good stuff. John, remind me, we got to put a disclaimer up so Facebook and YouTube don't think that this is like the wrong kind of sex talk. Okay. This is medicinal in purpose. So we got to make sure we do that. Dr. E, thank you for coming in, my friend.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the
Absolutely.
time. Thank you for supporting my show and efforts and what we do here in the 757. We'll have you on as a guest on my new show that will be premiering on Sky 4 after the first of the year. That show here in the local area will debut on January 17th. That'll be the first episode. And I'm sure you'll see Dr. E come up there with me. We'll do a segment with him for the local television broadcast. Before we sign off, I just wanted to say a couple of things regarding the 2025 year. First of all, thank you to all of my guests that have been on Aaron's Hour during the 2025 year. Thank you to all my sponsors, all the businesses, all the nonprofits. I appreciate you taking time and having faith in the communication efforts and the working relationships that we offer here with Aaron's Hour. I have done more and have met more people in the year and a half since I've been here in the Virginia Beach city and made inroads to what I can do to help other people, quite frankly, than I did in over 20 years in Las Vegas. And that's okay. Las Vegas is unique all unto its own. But Virginia Beach has been very special for what I've tried to do in bringing the voice to help represent those that I work with. So I want to thank everybody that has been part of this show, whether it's been as a sponsor, as I said, a guest, or even just reposting my stuff on Facebook and social media or mentioning me in a feed like Eli, my buddy Eli Colon. Thank you all for your support. And of course, without John back in Las Vegas helping me do what I do here, quite frankly, I can do my own streaming, but you know what? John's a professional. So this is a shout out to everybody that's out watching. If you need professional videography, if you have a movie you want to shoot, you need commercial production or want to host your own show in the Vegas area or really anywhere, John and I support each other. WWDBTV is the parent company, not company, but is the parent affiliate that I do WWDBTV with. And that's why the logo over my head, look at that, I did it right the first time. That's why the logo over my head will say an affiliate of WWDBTV, because John handles my feed. He handles putting all the commercials together for all my sponsors and any other production work and crazy stuff that I ask him to do. He has done it with a smile, and that's what a friend is for. And John will be instrumental in making certain my new show, The Voice of 757 on Sky 4, will be a success local as well. So thank you to John. And to John, I owe you a lunch or a breakfast when I come out there in January. All right, everybody, with that, listen, reminder, next week, This show will be dark. I will more than likely re-air this show just because it's the most current in the time slot next week, so you can revisit with Dr. E, unless somebody else pays me a lot of money and says, please rerun my show. Otherwise, we'll have Dr. E next week. Now, next Friday, as a programming note, Kiwanis Connects will be live. We'll be doing a show, of course. It's the traditional Hell Week episode down in the float, rose float decorating process. Doc Val will be down there with Douglas and the group down there. We're going to be providing a very special behind-the-scenes show on Kiwanis Connects. All right, listen, day 7, Hanukkah, candlelight number 7 tonight. I really should have asked Doctor, what's your favorite tradition during Hanukkah? Real fast.
Latkes.
Latkes. Crunchy applesauce or smooth applesauce?
Crunchy.
Got to be smooth. All right, either way, that's okay. I still like them. All right, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. We'll see you next time live 2026. Right here in Aaron's Hour. Thank you for watching, John. Thank you, buddy. We'll see you next time around. Thank you, everybody. For
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster, but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
Is your credit card debt getting you down? When that student loan payment is due, does your cable bill go unpaid? Are you ready to throw in the towel because you do not know how to financially survive? The Miliari Group is ready to educate you on how to get out from under the pile of debt and retire as a tax-free millionaire. They eliminate student and credit card debt and help families set their kids up for success. For more information, call 956-532-2349 or email williamsastria961@gmail.com or scan the QR code to meet with us. The first 100 calls will receive a free will. So, call 956-532-2349 or scan the QR code now and learn how to become the millionaire you always dreamed to be.
Men, are you disappointing your partner in the bedroom? Let's cut to the chase. Are you suffering from erectile dysfunction? 50% of men between the ages of 40 to 70 experience some form of ED. If you are experiencing ED, there is help without pills or needles to even worry about. Coastal 757 Aesthetics has new technology for men called Apex RF. Apex RF is a modern, non-invasive treatment that uses radio frequency to strengthen tissue from the inside out, resulting in better blood flow to the penis and a happier life partner. Call Coastal 757 Aesthetics at 757-481-4036 for a free consultation. That's 757-481-4036. Coastal 757 Aesthetics. Care for all phases of life.